O Joyce, yung mga late, mamaya na mag-breakfast. Okay, let's start. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Kapihan sa Senado. And our guest for today is the Chairman of Committee on National Defense and Security and Chairman of Committee on Accounts. Let us all welcome Senator Panfilo Lacson. Hi, sir. Good morning po.
Morning, Shelly. Magandang umaga sa lahat. Sige, diretso na para makarami.
Sir, finally na-approve sa third and final reading yung bill that will enhance and give more teeth dun sa ating Human Security Act. Ito po yung Senate Bill number
1083.
1083 o Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. Are you satisfied dun ho sa version na approved yesterday? And ano po yung mga salient provision nung na-approve kahapon?
Well, satisfied in the sense na na-enhance ito sa pamamagitan ng mga interpellations, mga amendments, ano? And it took us, 2-3 weeks, continuous yung interpellations, pati amendments. We started the period of interpellations last December 19. Of course, nagkaroon ng December break. But when we came back, dire-diretso yun. Ano? Walang patid, walang gap, walang lull. Dire-diretso hanggang sa period of amendments until yung approval ng second and third reading.
There are two senators, sirs, voted no, sina Senator Pangilinan and Risa Hontiveros. May mga concern sila doon? May mga provision po ba daw na pwedeng magamit sa human rights violation?
Well, that is the essence of democracy, dahil deliberative body. And at the end of the day, after the discussion and the debates, magkakaroon ng botohan. And of course, we respect, and I know for sure where they're coming from, especially Senator Risa. And she approached me yesterday to just air her sentiments na hindi naman talaga siya totally against the passage of the measure, but yung mga concerns niya regarding some provisions na pinag-usapan naman ng masinsinan. So, yon hindi mo naman talaga masasatisfy lahat. And especially a measure like this na medyo controversial, contentious, talagang merong hindi sasang-ayon. So, we understand their position.
Sir, yun sa mga na-mention ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan, why he voted no, yun nga daw, this bill will allow enforcers or military personnel to place individual and organization under surveillance. It will also compel telcos to divulge their calls and messages, arrest people without warrants, and detain them for extended period up to 14 days.
Well, yes, pero lahat naman merong legal procedures na susundin, ano? Hindi naman pwedeng basta ka na lang magko-conduct ng electronic surveillance or whatever kind of surveillance, kundi kukuha ka rin ng permiso sa korte. As a matter of fact, hindi lamang regional trial court sa intervention ni Minority Leader Senator Drilon, inakyat pa namin ito sa Court of Appeals, ano? Yung pagkuha ng judicial authorization to conduct surveillance. Pati yung prescription under the current law 9732, yung Human Security Act, RTC lamang ang magpo-prescribe. Pero in this measure, in this proposed measure, inelevate din yan sa Court of Appeals. The reason being, baka kasi sa dami na rin ng RTCs, and I agreed with his statingly, that is, with Senator Drilon, na baka maabuso naman yung pag-i-issue ng yung prescription, order prescription. Remember, merong feature dito na hindi lamang yung prescription per se, but nagkaroon ng preliminary order of prescription. Parang TRO ito, na within a certain period of time, pwedeng yung mga miyembro na nakalista, after due process is observed, pwede nang arestuhin at ikulong temporarily within a reglementary period of 14 days, calendar days. But nilimit din yung period na sa 20 days na kailangan either i-dismiss yung i-lift yung preliminary order of proscription or gawing permanente. Lahat ng safeguards naman nandun. Yung sa arrest naman without warrant, susundin pa rin yung panuntunan sa pag-aresto ng walang warrant, yung tinatawag na citizen's arrest, na yung kailangan yung krimen has just been committed, about to be committed, or being committed, at saka may personal knowledge yung law enforcement officer na magkoconduct ng arrest, yun lamang hinabaan yung reglementary period. But may mga safeguards ding nakapaloob doon. Kailangan informahan kagad ng law enforcement officer na nagsagawa ng warrantless arrest yung isang judge nearest the place of arrest. Iinformahan yung Commission on Human Rights. Tapos yung visitation rights nandoon. Walang limit yung pagdalo ng abogado at babasahan din siya ng kanyang rights under the Constitution, to remain silent and so forth and so on. So, nando lahat yung safeguards. Why did we decide to increase the reglementary period from the regular 36 hours to 14 days, 14 working days? It is because hindi naman ito ordinary crime against persons or against property, kundi ito crime ito against humanity. At ang impact nito sa destruction ng lives and property masyadong massive, masyadong indiscriminate. And we're just trying to be at par with the other countries, especially yung sa neighboring countries natin. Singapore, yung kanilang reglementary period, 732 days. No? Tapos pwede pa mag-extend ng indefinitely. Yung ibang countries like Malaysia, tayo nga yung nasa mga pinakabababa, yung 14 days reglementary period para mag-detain without warrant.
Sir, tinanggal din daw yung compensation for person wrongfully detained?
Tama yon. Kasi yun ang dahilan kung bakit walang yung mga pulis, yung NBI, even the military, are hesitant to file charges against the Human Security Act. Kasi takot sila na pagka na-dismiss yung kaso, pagmumultahin sila ng 500,000 pesos per day of detention. So even in the Marawi siege, hindi sila nag-file ng case or cases in violation of the Human Security Act. Ang ginawa na lang nila, mga murder cases or multiple murder cases, yung mga pinile nila. Kasi nga natatakot sila na pagka na-dismiss yung kaso, pagmumultahin sila ng 500,000 pesos a day. Kaya naging virtual dead letter law yung RA 9732. Hindi may apply. And since 2007, when the Human Security Act was enacted into law, isa pa lamang yung naging conviction. At saka yung prescription ng Abu Sayyaf, it took the court I think 11 years bago na nakapag-proscribe ng Abu Sayyaf. Kaya alam naman natin how dreaded the Abu Sayyaf group is, So yun ang mga weakness ng batas that brought us to the conclusion na dead letter law parang hindi ma-implement yung batas, so sayang. And naiiwanan tayo ng ibang countries, European, Western countries, at saka yung ating mga neighboring countries dito. So ang iniiwasan natin is to make the Philippines as a safe haven for terrorists kasi napakagang ng ating batas, napakahina.
Okay, Macon and then Marlan.
Meron ding provisions doon pero in-enhance pa namin dito eh. Dinagdagan namin yung penalty ng law enforcement officers na mag-aabuso. In-increase ito hanggang 10 years, ano. So hindi ganun kadali yung magkaroon ng abuso. Of course, yung other pertinent laws, yung Anti-Torture Act, mag-a-apply yon. Pero yung mga simple violations of the if passed into law nitong Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020, in-enhance pa namin. Mas nadagdagan pa. Alin yung 10 years. Dati nasa mga I think 6 months to parang 2 years lang eh. Uh, I'm not sure about the figure Pero basta in-enhance namin yung penalties to be imposed on law enforcement officers na nag-abuse dito. Yeah, I think that should be enough. And of course, the other pertinent laws, kung pinatay mo yung suspect, murder yung kaso mo. Kung tinorture mo, mag-violate ka ng anti-torture law. So, nandun pa rin yun. Pero yung mga ibang violations like not complying with the provision of informing the nearest judge or informing CHR, tinaasan namin yung parusa. Pati yung infidelity in the custody of detention prisoners.
Okay, Marlon.
Morning. Hindi kasama yung freedom of expression nandun, yung freedom of assembly nandun. Napaka-klaro doon sa batas na hindi kasama yung activities na in the exercise of legitimate dissent. Hindi kasama yun doon. Talagang dinefine namin yung acts of terrorism in such a way na talagang maliwanag na yung intent and purpose nandun sa within the context of the violation ng yung terrorism. Kasi let's face it, naging parang new normal, especially in other countries, and our country is not exempted from this. Naging new normal yung acts of terrorism. Every now and then, we'll be hearing about suicide bombers, and nagkaroon na tayo ng first case of suicide bombing, di ba? Very recently. At saka yung ISIS, nandito na sa Pilipinas. So, it's about time that we strengthen our laws against terrorism.
How about yung safeguard dun sa mga organization na wrongfully accused of being a front of any terrorist organization? Kasi kami sir sa NUJP, biktima kami ng red tagging for being accused of being a front of the CPP.
Merong due process yan. Hindi naman ganun kadali na pag nag-petition yung gobyerno o yung DOJ para ma-proscribe yung isang organization as a terrorist organization, hindi ganun kadali. It will undergo due process. Meron talagang lahat ng safeguards nandiyan. At saka even if a terrorist organization is proscribed, hindi rin kadali na basta't member ka ng NUJP, automatic arrestuhin ka. No. Meron ding due process doon sa individual members. Kaya, at saka I don't think NUJP will be tagged as a terrorist organization.
Sir, we've been tagged
Much less
since GMA time pa sir, Pinoy hanggang ngayon.
as a terrorist
Red.
Front lang.
Communist.
Look, even yung CPP-NPA, there's a pending petition. I think this has been going on for the last 2 years, sa Manila RTC. Nagkaroon ng dismissal and then I think there's a motion for reconsideration na ngayon parang given due course. I think RTC branch number 19 sa Manila. Even that napaka tedious noong dadaan ng proseso bago magkaroon ng order prescription.
Sir, but they always say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah, that is correct.
Kung batas na
Pero NUJP, Marlon, in your exercise of legitimate, di ba? Paano papasok na magiging, ako, this early, I can assure you, as the author, kasi pinag-aralan namin ito, I don't see NUJP or any similar organization na matatag to or mabibigyan ng order of prescription. I can assure you, no, even this early, no, under any administration for that matter, na yung ganyang klaseng organization na nag-exercise kasi nasa media, di ba? That's exercise. Mahirap, hindi lulusot, hindi magkakaroon ng ganun. Pag sumali ka sa Abu Sayyaf, doon ka,
Na may enough safeguards, legal safeguards na lahat.
yeah, enough, more than enough safeguards. Yeah.
Pero sir, under this law, kahit yung mga foreign national or organization, pwede mag-request sa atin na i-consider na terrorist yung isang organization?
Yung designated persons, meaning pagka United Nations at na-declare na as a terrorist yung isang tao and na-accused sa ibang bansa, pwede nang ano natin, i-consider din as a terrorist, ano. Of course, rule of evidence din yung masusunod. But we can only acquire jurisdiction over that person once he or she steps dito sa atin, sa soil ng Pilipinas. Kasi hindi naman natin pwedeng mag-acquire jurisdiction kung wala naman sa atin yung tao.
So sir, once enacted into law, na-expect natin mas magiging effective na yung ating campaign against terrorism.
I hope so kasi this underwent a series of consultations from resource persons from different groups, ano, CHR. Yung claim ni I think former Congressman Casino na hindi sila kinonsult, that is wrong, ano. That is disinformation. We invited them to attend the committee hearings, but they did not appear to attend. We also invited CHR, we invited civil society organizations, NGOs, marami lahat, pati academe, in-invite namin lahat dito para magkaroon talaga ng malawak na consultation. Before I reported this out on the floor for plenary debates, talaga sinigurado namin na yung the whole spectrum, ano, para makuha namin yung iba't ibang sides. And we more or less we copied our version from other jurisdictions like Australia, United Nations, US, Singapore. Marami kaming kinonsulta talaga rito.
Before cut, sir, may counterpart nito sa House? Approved na rin ba ito sa House of
I think
Representatives?
they're still in the at the committee level. Hindi pa yata na-report out sa floor. But some groups are working with the House of Representatives to fast track their passage, ano, yung version nila para madala kagad ito.
So matagal pa parang maghihintay sir itong
Hindi naman siguro kasi ang alam ko meron nagpo-full court press doon eh.
Okay, Kat.
Sir, on the provision on accessories, how do you insulate people who were blackmailed by terrorists into harboring the group? For example, in Marawi, some Maranaos were blackmailed into helping the terrorists na magplant
Pag
ng
sinabi
bombs.
mong accessory, ito yung accessory after the fact, ano? Halimbawa, nag-harbor ka, ang isang feature dito na iniba namin do sa under the regular laws, ano, existing laws. Hindi natin sinama yung mga relatives, ano, no matter kung ano yung degree of affinity or consanguinity. Kasi after all, this is a crime against humanity. Dapat naman hindi na magkanlong yung halimbawa kapatid ng isang terrorist o pinsan ng isang terrorist. Alam niya ng terorista yon, siya yung nagpo-provide ng sanctuary. Kailangan managot siya kasi ang tatamaan dito innocent people, hindi ba? Hindi lang ito yung targeted individual or individuals, kundi very indiscriminate. Pag nagpasabog ka ng explosives dyan, yung masisirang buhay, masisirang mga properties, mga installations and all, masyadong massive at saka walang sinisino, walang kinikilala.
Okay. Cecil?
Well, nothing will prevent them from seeking compensation once they are wrongfully accused of the crime under this measure, no? Nandoon naman yun nasa statutes naman yan nasa mga sa civil code. Andiyan naman lahat yan. Kasi naging helpless yung law enforcement. Takot sila do sa multa na 500,000 pesos per day. Saan sila kukuha ng pangmulta kung ma-dismiss yung kaso? Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, even yung Marawisis na klaro talagang acts of terrorism ang mga naganap doon, ayaw nila mag-file ng violation ng Human Security Act. Ang pinal nila, mga ordinary revised penal code offenses na murder, destruction of property, illegal possession of firearms, ganun lang. So naging toothless nga yung batas, kaya we deemed it wise to amend, even repeal, not even amendment, repeal yung ginawa namin. But we carried or we adopted some provisions under the Human Security Act. Yeah, that is well within their rights to seek compensation or even criminal, exact criminal liabilities from those who wrongfully arrested and detained them.
Sir, once enacted into law, lalakas nga yung ating anti-terror law. Kaya lang, unfortunately, terminate naman po yung visiting forces agreement na under that agreement, di ba po ba nagkakaroon ng sharing of information or intelligence information about terrorism? So parang, di ba yung timing?
Well, 180 days, and the formal termination will be on August 9, kasi 180 days from the notice, yung once na na-receive yung notice. So, still, baka may mga developments na mangyari na hindi rin maisakatuparan yung formal termination. Remember, there's a pending petition in the Supreme Court, but this concerns another issue. That's yung withdrawal from the ICC. And it's still pending in court. And the Senate President and several senators are planning to also file a similar petition now, involving the withdrawal from or abrogation of the BFA. If the Supreme Court, assuming without preempting, if the Supreme Court decides in favor of the petition or the petitioners, ang mangyayari dyan, kasi di ba yung ratification would need two-thirds vote or supermajority vote of the upper house, the Senate. Kung mag-rule in favor of the petitioners, kailangan din ng two-thirds vote pag nag-withdraw. So nothing is final if that happens. Kasi the ball will now be in the hands of the senators, at least two-thirds or 16 of us. So hindi pa rin talagang pwede nating siguraduhin na tapos na rin yung VFA. Kasi maraming, and we've talked to several cabinet members, I won't mention anymore, baka malasin pa yung, but they are actually against the abrogation, openly. At least pag kami lang, hindi naman sila nag-hesitate magsabi na mali talaga yung decision to abrogate because we have not prepared for it. Well, in the first place, yung nakukuha nating tangible and intangible benefits from the BFA, masyadong malaki. Yung Philippine Air Force alone, sa armed forces na lang, yung air assets natin, pag naputol yung BFA, ang daming maapektuhan because most of our equipage, yung mga equipment, nanggaling sa United States. And we cannot change that anymore kasi paano yung repairs, maintenance ng mga helicopters, yung mga C-130s, medyo mahirapan tayo. Pati yung the fact that we've been receiving military aid and assistance from the United States, ang ang count as of 1998 parang nasa 1.3 billion dollars, and since 2016 when President Duterte and President Trump came into power, mga 900 million dollars na yung nakukuhang benefits. Hindi lahat yon aid, hindi lahat yon assistance, meron din financing. and 52% of the entire military assistance and financing ng United States sa buong Asia Pacific region sa Pilipinas napunta. So
Sir,
nakakapanghinayang din. This not counting the technical intelligence sharing provided by the US both ways kasi tayo nakapag-provide tayo ng information sa kanila about terrorism, yung drug interdiction, marami, napakaraming the whole gamut of yung benefits derived from the VFA, Mutual Defense Treaty, and other similar treaties, nakakapanghinayang lang.
sir, nakaready na ba yung petition at kailan po yung ipa-file sa Supreme Court?
Uh, Magkausap lang kami ni Senate President kagabi. I think next week, parang pinafinalize lang yung petition, and next week, ipapile yun. And we're not sure yet who among the senators will sign the petition as co-petitioners. But I, for one, will join the Senate President in the filing of the petition as a co-petitioner.
Okay, Marlon, Joyce, and then Macon, and then from GMA7.
May nabanggit po ba yung mga
Maraming takot kay Presidente sa well, nag-express sila, but lagi silang nananadya no? Na kung how to bring it to his attention, how to persuade him or dissuade him from proceeding do sa abrogation. And sa tingin lang, mukhang made up na yung mind ni Presidente, but there are times na medyo parang lumalambot, no? But that's where we are right now.
So nabanggit po nila sa inyo kung ano yung reason nila, yung reason nila bakit terminate.
Yun, yung mga sinabi ko rin. Kasi yung ibang information na I'm sharing with you now, galing din doon sa mga nakausap namin, na mga cabinet and military officials.
Okay, Joyce.
Yung mga nakausap namin, more or less, halos unanimous naman sila na magsabi na not really against, but meron silang mga apprehensions, meron silang reservations doon sa pag-terminate, doon sa pag-abrogate. Wala pa ako yatang nakausap na parang all out in supporting the president to abrogate. Medyo marami rin. Mamaya tatanong nyo na yung mga pangalan na.
Pero sir, lahat
Unti-unti
yun,
nyo eh.
sir, lahat yun hindi nila niparating personally kay President.
Well, minsan na-express nila, pero hindi ganun kadiin kasi nga they know the president more than we do, no, at yung up close Hindi, wala naman yung mga nakausap lang namin informally, more informally than formally kasi wala namang nangyaring formal discussion say in a cabinet meeting or in LEDAC tungkol dito. At the very least, may reservations, may apprehension sila doon sa pag-abrogate. Well, hindi mo mayalis kasi different opinions depending on where they're coming from. Siyempre, merong yung moral lang maapektuhan, especially sa military saka sa police. Kasi sila naman yung parang more or less directly yung parang kasi pag inalis mo yung VFA, parang hinubaran mo yung MDT. Kasi ang nangyayari diyan, ang sabi nga noong mga from the US yun yung legal protection nila. Kasi what if nga naman sa joint exercises may nadisgrasya do sa halimbawa nagpapaano sila ng mga rockets tapos may nadisgrasya, walang legal cover, walang legal protection which the BFA is providing. So once the BFA is formally terminated, yung MDT, Mutual Defense Treaty, will just be parang good as a paper treaty. Hindi nila i-implement yun. Nandyan lang yan maybe they will not abrogate also or unilaterally, pero hindi nila ito gagamitin as a treaty that is being implemented. Kasi nga gusto nila lagi may protection. But there's no saying na hindi parehas yung there's no saying na parehas yung VFA. In fact, talaga napaka masyado argabyado yung Pilipinas doon sa pagbinasa mo yung mga provisions sa VFA dahil yung jurisdiction sa mga criminal acts, pati yung pag-drive, marami mga provisions na talagang kumbaga sa yung disparity in terms of rights and privileges, lamang na lamang yung United States.
So in case magbagong isip ni Presidente, kung hindi pa tapos yung 180 days, pwede pa niya i-withdraw yung notice of
Na-notify
termination?
na eh. I don't know how to go about it. I'm not familiar. Kung halimbawa magbago isip and sulatan uli, canceling or withdrawing the notification. I really don't know. I'm not sure how to go about it in case na magbago yung isip.
Pero kapon parang sinabi ni Presidente na binigyan siya ng assurance ng AFP at PNP na kayang i-boost yung ating defense capability kahit na wala na daw
Well,
itong
what do you
PNP.
expect? Siyempre, nag-decide na yung Presidente. Alam nang kumontra pa yung... We are not trained that way, sa military, sa police. Sa amin, pag sinabi ng Commander-in-Chief, eto na yung decision, we all support. No? So, they will all support the decision of the President, right or wrong. No? Kasi pag hindi nila sinunod, decision na yun eh. Pwede mag-discuss while processing the decision. Pero once the decision is made by the Commander-in-Chief or any commander for that matter, everybody follows.
Okay, follow up pa, Joyce.
Yesterday, hindi. Iba yung topic na napag-usapan doon.
Alin ba? ABS-CBN.
Hindi rin na-touch.
Nagpa-dinner lang daw si Senator.
Hindi, dito sa lounge, yung caucus namin. Pero ibang topic yon.
So sir, very crucial po pala yung magiging ruling ng Supreme Court dun sa petition na ipapasa.
Yeah. Kasi pag nag-rule ang Supreme Court doon sa pending ngayon, yung sa withdrawal, magkakaroon ng tinatawag ng abogado na obiter dictum. Meaning, meron ng strong opinion. So, it could very well pave the way. Parang gagaang na kung sakaling i-file yung petition doon sa abrogation. No? Dahil hindi masasaklaw yung petition sa withdrawal, yung sa abrogation. Depende sa wordings. But at the very least, yung magpo-provide ng obiter dictum yung or strong opinion or parang mayroon ng president, no? Dahil ito na yung decision, why would it not apply also to similar treaties or similar agreements?
Sir, do you expect yung mga majority senators will support that petition or there are some senators na nasa majority pero allies ng
Well,
administration?
right now, di ba, 7 yung nag-abstain, nag-move to reconsider kasi na-count sila as, except Senator De La Rosa, who on the floor, right there and then, sinabi niya, I abstain. And then he was joined by 6 others. So, wala namang nag-dissent. Nag-abstain lang sila. Parang afterthought pa nga yung pag-abstain nila. So, when you say 7 out of 23 who can vote because Senator De Lima cannot vote dahil wala siyang physical presence, 16 pa rin yung for the filing of the petition kasi sense of the Senate na yun eh.
Okay, Macon. And then, Kat, may tatanong ka rin. Okay.
The final arbiter, kasi the Constitution is silent on the withdrawal. It is only explicit sa ratification. So, since the Constitution is silent, we need the Supreme Court to interpret. Kasi ang final interpreter ng provision ng Constitution, Supreme Court. The Senate, being a lawmaking body, cannot interpret. We just amend or we just craft laws, legislation. Yung executive, sila yung nag-execute. So once the Supreme Court rules, yun na yung interpretation and that becomes part of the law of the land. Just like in the case of itong sa ABS-CBN, kasi may mga controversies about kailan ba talaga mag-expire, pwede ba yung provisional permit, maraming interpretations. But there are, may mga existing jurisprudence na rito. Yung latest yata, yung 2003, yung penned by ex-Chief Justice Puno, di ba? And he very clearly discussed the uh, the ruling, no, do sa decision na yon. Now without a legislative franchise, yung NTC cannot issue a provisional permit. So I don't know where the House of Representatives, the leadership at least, is coming from when they wrote NTC to issue a provisional permit. Because klaro naman sa batas na ang magti-trigger, kasi ang legislation na sa amin wala sa NTC. Ang NTC is a regulatory body. Sila yung mag-i-implement. But klaro naman talaga doon sa jurisprudence, which is now part of the law of the land, na without a legislative franchise, meaning batas, no, hindi mag-i-issue ng provisional permit ang NTC. So kung mag-expire yung franchise ng ABS-CBN on May 4, kasi hindi naman ito yung date of the passage ng batas, kundi 15 days after publication. So malino, kaya May 4 yung computation ni DOJ Secretary. So whether kung walang intervention na mangyari at walang franchise na ma-issue, legislative franchise, mag-expire talaga sa May 4 yon. Kasi yun ang 15 days after publication noong 25 years ago. So I don't know paano gagawin kasi pinasa nila yung bola yata sa Kongreso, di ba? Sabi niya, we need a resolution. A resolution does not have the force and effect of a law. Even yung joint resolution, because of ang nurse party list, yung decision ng Supreme Court, very recently, wala na rin we cannot amend a law by or through a joint resolution of both houses. So iba na yung labanan. Kailangan talaga mag-file ng bill, may mga bills na, no? I-hear yung bill, i-pass on third reading, mag-BICAM, if there's a need for a BICAM, and then enroll it papunta sa Office of the President.
So sir, hindi kailangan yung joint resolution at saka yung concurrent resolution?
Ang concurrent resolution, if at all, is a sense of the Senate. Mas may force pa nga yung joint resolution, pero because of the latest or recent jurisprudence, baliwala na rin yun, wala na rin force and effect of a law. So whether it's a concurrent resolution or a joint resolution, hindi ito pwedeng gamitin ng NTC para mag-issue ng provisional permit. Because yung provisional permit comes after a legislative franchise is issued, no, to the corporation.
Pero why would you
Marlon.
need a provisional permit? You already have a legislative.
Well, kasi siguro may mga administrative requirements pa. 'Di ba? Kasi binigyan namin ng batas, no. So hindi maka-issue ng permit kagad yung NTC. I'm just guessing na siguro may mga administrative requirements. Pag na-fulfill 'yon, saka magkakaroon ng talagang franchise kasi ang franchise it entails the granting of or the use of frequency, 'di ba? Radio frequency or frequency kasi nasa NTC yan Sila yung nagpo-possess noon So on May 4, pag walang nangyaring ibang yung intervention na talagang nag-expire, yung frequency ng ABS-CBN, babawiin na yun ng NTC. And it will now be up for grabs na mga mag-a-apply ng legislative franchise. Di ba, ewan ko kung applicable pa rin ngayon, di ba mas mababa raw yung frequency, mas ito yung hinahabol ng mga applicants ng franchise. Why? Because nung araw, di ba, pag hindi ngayon touchscreen nung araw agaw-agaw sa mababang frequency kasi pagbukas mo na radyo ando ka na sa mababang pagpihit mo nauna yung 558 argabyado yung 882 tapos 594 630 666 na ganyan yung mga medyo nasa huli ang sunshine ba anong frequency nyo sa ayun malayo-layo kasi late sila nag-apply. So yun ang hindi naman pinag-aagawan, kundi yun ang desired. Ngayon, medyo mababa yung frequency ng ABS-CBN kasi 25 years ago. So pagka nag-expire ng May 4, wala na yon, open yon. So pag may nag-apply ng legislative franchise na radio, TV station or telecommunication, yun ang ma-award sa kanilang franchise.
So sir, since you are running out of time na dahil magbe-break na kayo ng second week of March, possible talaga na mangyari na by May 4, kapag nag-expire na yung franchise ng ABS, wala nang legal basis para sila mag-operate?
Wala, kasi ang nagko-cover naman dyan, yung corporation code, ano? Yung RA 11232, I think. Ano? Ang sinasabi doon, merong winding up period na 3 years. Yung kasi inamend na yung revised corporation code ito eh. Pero yung 3 years na yon, kasi maririn yung interpretation na nauna nang sinabi, na hindi, kaya pa mag-operate pa ng 2 years yan. Mali po yung ganong suggestion. Dahil yung 2 or 3 years under the revised Corporation Code of the Philippines, yung 3 years na para magbayad ng utang, maningil ng collectibles, magbigay ng separation pay, tapos mag-defend or magpurso ng mga lawsuits, di ba? Binibigyan sila ng 3 years, but not to operate.
Pero sir, hindi ba yung unfair sa ABS-CBN? Kasi parang matagal naman sila nag-file na, matagal na may nag-file
Well, you
ng
can say that,
renewal, hindi
Yeah.
lang inaksyonan. So,
Well, you can
kasalanan
say
ba
that
nila yun?
it's really unfair to them. Hindi nila kasalanan dahil hindi naman sila late nag-file ng application, no, na translate into bills. Ano, there are at least 11 bills pending in the lower house. Kaya nga I don't know kasi sinasabi naman ng Pangulo, wala naman siyang tinatawagang congressman para wag i-hear but you know, yung lahat naman ng pronouncements doon papunta. And you know, I really don't know if the president is the wisdom of the day or a terror. You know, it's either
Sa tingin niyo,
either
sir?
one. Kasi basta nagsalita siya parang
Yun na.
parang yun na. So, is he the wisdom of the day?
Or terror of the day. Okay, Cecil.
Sila dapat nag-uusap, no? Second guess eh. Kasi
Pero magandang
you know,
development, sir,
may
yun.
propensity naman without without casting any ang presidente kasi nagsalita ngayon, hindi mo rin alam kung bukas yung pa rin yun eh.
Kasi kung nasa legislative, paano nyo babasahin yun na habang
Kami walang problema.
atake niya yung ABS?
Walang problema sa Senate. We act more independently than the House, ano? Whether they admit it or not, that's a reality. And that's a reality that we have to live with. Na sa House, talagang pag nagsalita ang presidente, sa amin, maski we act more independently sa Senate. Ano? 24 lang kami, pero 24 republics kami rito.
Pero sir, knowing the president, hindi talaga siya nag-interfere. Kasi sabi niya, wala daw siya ni isang congressman na kinausap
Well,
about the
Past
franchise.
experience, I have no comment.
Ah, what does it mean, sir? Makon?
That is why, that is why Senate President Soto and I have been discussing about this. Ano, if we will sign the joint resolution or the concurrent resolution, we're still, sabihin natin, debating with our wits, if we will join in the signing of that concurrent resolution. Because if it is a useless piece of paper and wala namang effect ng batas, at saka alam naman natin, alam namin, based on our discussion or inquiries with lawyers knowledgeable sa franchise, alam naman namin na baliwala yun. Hindi naman magagamit ng NTC yung joint resolution or concurrent resolution to issue that provisional permit. So, magmumukha lang kaming parang, di ba? Parang nakakatawa naman na gagawa kami ng isang resolution na alam naming maski halimbawang gawin pa ng NTC mag-issue ng provisional permit, illegal din yun. Pwede ma-question sa Supreme Court, madadamay pa kami. Kami tuturo eh. Ang sinasabi doon yung parang yung sa equity, di ba? Para meron daw nangyari ng ganon. But I heard ex-CJ Puno, sinabi niya, yung practice cannot make a law. Kung ang letter ng law ganito, maski pinapractice yan before, it will not justify legally na gawin mo. Kasi parang, di ba, dito sa Senate minsan, hindi, traditionally ginagawa na yan eh. Parang pinapayagan na. But legally speaking, hindi binding legally kung meron kaming ginawa na pinapractice ng mga ninuno namin. Di ba? Yeah, we can always express the sense of the Senate. But how effective legally would that be? That's another question. Hindi, kaya nga, hindi naman makapag-issue ng provisional permit ng NTC kung walang legislative franchise. And legislative franchise, as the name connotes, dapat batas yun. Di ba?
Lang.
Yung, hindi, existing, pero mag-expire nga sa May 4 eh. Well, will it change the reality na mag-expire yan sa May 4? So, maski mag-issue kami ng 100 joint resolutions, good pa rin yun hanggang May 4. Will it change the fact that it will expire on May 4? Pagdating ng May 4, expired yun as per RA, whatever RA it was na pinasa noong 25 years ago. Well, how do you extend without issuing a provisional permit? The provisional permit or the permit or the legislative franchise expires on May 4. So, maski 1,000 joint resolutions na walang effect and force of law, ang ipadala naman sa NTC, anong gagawin ng NTC after May 4? Expired pa rin yun. Oh, pero will that extend the legislative franchise? Ewan ko. Pero simple lang naman yung interpretation eh. Nag-expire yung lisensya mo. Pwede bang sabihin namin ng Senate sa LTO, oy, extend mo nga yan without applying?
Sir, is that going to be, sir, so basically, the Senate, you're saying the Senate is asking NTC to do something illegal?
Ganun ang implication. Kaya nga meron kaming reservation ni Senate President kung magjo-join pa kami sa pagpirma ng concurrent resolution or joint resolution. Wag na yung concurrent resolution kasi maski si Senator Drilon, sinabi naman niya na sense of the Senate lang yon. Yung joint resolution, hindi rin po pwede kasi nga merong ang nurse party list ruling na hindi na nakaka-amend yung joint resolution ng batas. So saan tayo pupunta? Magpapasa tayo ng batas.
So sa pwedeng remedy yung isinabmit ni Senator Bong Revilla na extend hanggang December 30 ang validity ng franchise?
Gawin namin batas.
So pwedeng remedy yon while hindi pa na-approve yung franchise.
Bakit ka pa magpapasa ng batas na 2 years or 8 years? Pwede naman 25 years. Pareho rin yung proseso eh.
Sir, ang hinahabol nga yung bago ho mag-expire sa May 4.
Bakit pa natin habulin yung bago mag-expire? Magpasa na tayo ng batas na 25 years. Ganun din ang proseso. Magdidebate rin kami. May first reading, may second reading, may third reading, may bycam. Ba't pa kami magpapasa? Namumula tuloy ako eh.
Sir, kasi hindi uma-action ng House. Dapat mag-emanate sa House.
Hindi nga, kaya nga dapat mag-emanate sa House. Ngayon, yeah. Wala. I don't know what NTC will do to legalize yung pag-issue ng provisional permit kung walang batas. I don't know. Mahirap mag-question ng motive eh. Pero
Milo muna, tapusin natin. And then,
Well, ito na nga yung sinasabi na yung sa equity. Kasi kung na-practice before, it will not legalize kung wala sa batas. Yun ang sinasabi ni Chief Justice Puno, di ba? Yung practice does not make it legal. Yung practice in the past. Yun na nga, pagdating ng araw at may nag-question, hindi, tama, hindi, pagdating ng panahon na may mag-question, or immediately after, nag-issue yung NTC ng provisional permit on the basis of a letter from the Speaker of the House and the chair of the yung sa franchise nila, no? May mag-question, Supreme Court pa rin yung mag-interpret na illegal yung ginawa ng NTC.
Sir, yung NTC rin admitted na hindi sila nag-i-issue ng provisional permit. Pinapabayaan lang nila.
Na mag-extend.
Well, it's up to them. Ang tanong nga rito,
Written order.
kung wala magko-question, fine. Kasi hawak nila frequency eh. Hindi nila i-withdraw yun, hindi nila kukunin yun, papagamit nila sa ABS-CBN. Hanggang wala nagko-question, di fine, tuloy-tuloy yung ABS-CBN. Pag may nag-question at sinabing, hindi pwede yan, di ganun din. Alam nga namang utusan ng Supreme Court yung NTC na bawiin nyo, ayaw pa rin lang bawiin, mako-contempt naman sila. At saka ma-charge sila ng violation ng ano ba yan, 3826 ba yung yung an act providing for the regulation of radio yun eh, kasi 1931 wala pang TV. But sa ruling din ng Supreme Court doon sa 2003 ruling, sinabi na kung maski hindi na mention doon sa 1931 Republic Act 3826 yung TV, hindi ibig sabihin hindi kasama yung TV. Yun ang ruling eh. I read the ruling kasi alam ko tatanungin niyo, nagbasa muna ako bago bumaba dito. So nakalagay doon ang pen by Chief Justice Puno, yung 1931 wala pang television. So ang nasasaklaw lang noon, radio and radio telecommunications. Dalawa eh, radio communications saka yung radio stations. Walang mention ng TV. Pero sa ruling nakalagay doon, hindi porket hindi binanggit yung TV, hindi covered yung TV. So yung RA 3826 applies to television stations.
So it means maraming inalaw na maling practice before, sir, na kung hindi pa na-approve yung franchise nila, inaalaw na makapag-operate pa rin.
Oh, yun din ang sinabi ni Chief Justice, di ba?
Mhm.
Sabi niya, yung practice does not legally does not justify legally yung ginagawa na legal na.
Okay, Joyce, and then Sinimfa, and then Mean, and then Okay.
Depende sa language ng concurrent resolution. Ano? Kung hindi ito yung parang ino-authorize yung NTC to issue a provisional permit or extend, pipirma kami. Pero pag yung sa concurrent or joint resolution, parang inuutusan namin or sinasabi namin yung NTC, mag-issue ka ng extension or provision. I don't think I and Senator Soto will sign. Kasi parang that's an encroachment on the parang ano ng House. Kasi kailangan batas talaga eh.
Syempre alam naman natin obviously na ang may kasalanan yung mga inupuan kasi yung bills eh. Meron bang remedy for ABS-CBN, sir, na pwede ba silang mag-file na kaso ethics complaint?
Wala eh. Wala kasi yung legislative franchise, kasi separation of power nga, di ba? Parang kami, lawmaking, and nobody can force us to pass a law. No? Walang ganon sa Constitution na kailangan pag merong ganito, may urgency, kailangan ipasa nyo yan. Wala.
Sir, hindi ba siya mag-fall sa negligence?
Well, sabihin na natin abdication, negligence, dereliction, pero wala naman sa Constitution na pwedeng isanction yung institution, which is Congress, pagka hindi nagpasa ng batas pertaining to anything, mapa-franchise man ito o kung anong klaseng batas, wala namang ganong provision sa Constitution.
Pero kung
That will
intentional,
compel us.
sir.
Yung committee chair, inuupuan niya yung isang pwede
Sa amin, meron ganun, 30 session days. Ibilangin mo yung 30 session days, gaano kahaba yun. Ano yun eh? 30 session days. So, kung 3 days a week yung session, magbilang na kayo. kung aabot pa yung... Pero yun din, i-discharge mo yung chairman, mag-a-appoint ka rin ng iba, o kaya ite-take over nung body yung pag-hear nung... Remember, pagka walang ginawa, pero pagka nag-hear, nagkaroon ng isang hearing, may ginawa na siya. So, mag-umpisa ka na naman bumilang ng 30 session days.
Sir, tama ba yung rason ni Speaker Cayetano na kaya hindi pa ni-schedule? Sobrang mainit yung issue, marami mainit ang ulo, baka hindi maging maayos yung discussion dun sa bill.
Well, that's his call as the speaker, and that's the call of the chair of the appropriate committee. No? Sila yung, ang chair yung sa amin, lalo sa Senate, no? Independent yung mga chairman eh. Hindi nga nakikialam yung Senate President kung kailan mo gustong i-hear o kung ayaw mong i-hear. Kung ayaw mong i-hear man lang at 30 session days, hindi mo man lang ginagalo isang bill referred to your committee, that's the time that the whole body in plenary will act accordingly. Na hindi mo ginagalaw yan, tatanggalin namin sa iyo yan.
Sir, so pag yung NTC pinayagan ng ABS mag-operate beyond May 4, pwede silang kasuhan?
Kung may magpapal ng kaso.
Anong kaso yan, sir, if ever they do allow ABS?
Well, usurpation of authority siguro. O, depende. Kung wala nga magko-question, edi tuloy lang, gamitin ng ABS-CBN yung frequency. Di ba tayo ng probinsyano, tuloy-tuloy, walang problema.
Ang wala
Pero
katapos
kung
ng probinsya.
meron mag-question at sabing mali yung ginawa ng NTC, may magagawa ba NTC kung order na ng court?
Okay, Nimpa and then Mean. Nimpa.
Oh yeah. Oh. And we tackle bills on franchises. Minsan sa isang hearing, 3, 4, 5. Sa floor ganun din. Pag nagdebate, 3, 4, 5 bills sabay-sabay simultaneously. Hindi ko alam.
Sinasadyang patapos na, sir.
Ah, yeah. Well, even yung last 3 days namin, kasi 2 weeks na lang bago mag-break, kung i-transmit sa amin ng House, yung House version, kaya pa rin yun. Enrolled yun before we go on break. Kasi I, for one, I'll make my vote known already. I'll vote for the renewal of the franchise. Kasi there's no reason na hindi ka bumoto, di ba? Dahil bumoboto ka naman ng mga nakaraang panahon. Well, you can say that. Medyo obvious naman yun eh. No-brainer naman yun eh. Dahil yung oft-repeated pronouncements against ABCBN, ano yun eh, telling masyado yun na yung House naman ayaw kumilos because of, unless, yun nga, biglang sabihin na, sige, i-hear nyo na yan, ipasa nyo na yan. Unless sabihin ganun. That's reality, no? Of course, they can deny, they can disown, they can disclaim. Pero kita naman natin eh, na parang, maski, di ba yung ostrich, ibaon mo pa yung ulo mo sa buhangin, kita pa rin yung buntot mo eh. Di ba? Mahirap itago kung masyadong obvious. Realistically, yes. Even yung last week namin, yung kasi we'll go on break on March 12, yung 9, 10, 11, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Basta Monday, say March 10 or March 9. Monday, kung Monday may March 9. Kung matransmit sa amin, kaya yon.
Pero sir,
Simple lang naman ang franchise eh. Hindi, kung may certified na urgent, may 3-day notice, may 3-day rule, na kailangan between second and third reading, may 3 days ka. Tama yun. Thank you.
so kakayanin pa, sir, kung hindi naman certified as urgent, no?
Hindi, kung hindi certified as urgent, kailangan next week may transmit sa amin.
Pero sir, yung pag-accept ng apology, go signal na ba yun sa House na?
I don't know. Nahirap basahin ng isip ng presidente. I'm telling you. Kayo nga, nahirapan din eh. Kami pa. para nahirapan.
Okay. Mean.
Wala akong nakita ng remedyo pag walang legislative franchise. That's what I'm saying. Interpreting the opinion of XCJ Puno and other lawyers that I've discussed these issues with, and also reading from jurisprudence, reading from the pertinent laws. Hindi naman kailangan maging lawyer tayo para maintindihan yung batas eh. 'Di ba? Kung hindi natin halimbawa, masyadong technical, we can always ask lawyers to interpret for us, 'di ba? Minsan naman ang language ng batas napakasimple lang eh. Para kung marunong ka magbasa, marunong ka mag-interpret o mag-express ng opinion.
Cecil, may follow-up ka ba? Okay. And then, sorry, Kat. Hindi na kita bawal.
Inaccept ang apology pero sabi niya, napakahirap na desisyon kung ibibito niya o hindi. Look, 'di ba? Kung wala 'yon, palakpakan na. Yung mga dapat pumalakpak. No? Ang problema, may karugto nga eh, may caveat eh. Hindi ko sigurado kung ibibito ko o hindi. Ibang usapan naman 'yon. So, may sinabing ganito, pero may sinabi rin ganito, mag-interpret ka. Yeah. Hindi, report out lang sa plenary. Okay, mag-committee, ang committee hearing nga, minsan isang araw lang eh. Committee hearing, then prepare the committee report sa floor, pagbotohan. Minsan naman wala nang interpellation eh. Minsan wala nang amendment. Unless, yan na, tiyatawag na ako.
Naku, alarm. Tatayo na si Sir.
Tayo
Sir,
na.
Sir. Ha?
Oh, doable. Basta merong, kung hindi certified urgent, basta merong 3-day rule na susundin between second reading and third reading. Basta bigyan kami enough time to approve ang third reading, okay kami.
At sir, kapag nitransmit dito, nakakasiguro na ma-approve yun. Majority
Based on
will...
our discussions, informal discussions, wala akong nakitang problema sa botohan.
Ay, hindi pa pahabol?
Wala na. Okay na.
Ay, pastillas daw. Hindi sa Bureau of Sir, akala ko hanggang 11:30 tayo. Okay.
Oh, sige, text na lang. Sige.
Sige, sir. Thank you, sir. Salamat, sir.